Hello, welcome back to Blood Moon Oracle. Tonight we're taking a look at the energies for the upcoming week. And in this segment, we are doing our air signs. The air signs Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. All right. Are you doing my air signs? Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you have not. Hit the bell, like, share, comment if you are enjoying the content. I am going to start off with, let's start with Gemini. Gemini, what's going on this week for you, Gemini? King of Cups, Page of Cups, and the World. I feel like the air is going to be stifled around you this week for some reason. For some of you, you may be cutting off the emotional supply. Something about that this week. Or you might be just avoiding being in your emotions and just wanting to avoid that energy altogether here in the environment. I have the King of Cups, the World, and the Page of Cups coming out here for you. So it feels like there's something that might be changing. There's something that might be ending. Um, this could have a lot to do with how you are um, availing yourself, how you're interacting in your environment. There's something that you're cutting off, right? This could be how you are addressing situations. Um, you're possibly stepping into using a different kind of method to address the current situations. Um, or you've been given some type of advice or some other possible methods to use. I just feel like something's being cut off. And it feels like it's a lot to do with connecting, emotions, even how you avail yourself, right? There's something about that here. I don't know if you'll be leaving a certain place that you usually frequent and just kind of cutting off your access to that place. It feels something like that. I have the Nine of Wands, the Fool, and the Seven of Cups. Yeah. So that's on your mind this week. Something about taking another route, taking another um, approach to something, because something feels like in your mind it has not worked. And in some way, it has left you um, hanging. I get that energy, feeling like you've been left hanging in some type of way. And so you're about to take a different approach this week. And some of the choices that you may have made, you may be looking for other choices to try something different or to try not to land in those same situations that got you that situation that you didn't want. So you may be looking to make different choices this week. Um, that may be specifically your aim this week. As you go through the week, you are intentional about going a different route here. I don't know if there's something that's owed to you, or you're feeling like you have been left on red or left hanging in some type of way, but there's a need, you see a need to change something so that you can get a different result. I do feel like this week is going to be one that, because you're changing things, there's going to be some things that possibly come out surprising. because you're not sure what to expect, possibly. And that may feel a little bit heavy, not knowing. You may possibly end up having to do a lot more this week than you normally do as you make these changes. But this feels a little bit like something changing. Part of what's changing, I know you're changing some things, but there's some other things that's changing that may be out of your control, that's changing around you unexpectedly too. I feel like I'm talking to a Gemini that likes to be in control, that possibly is in some type of, um, it's almost like you're the head of something. You set the tone for something, even if it's just a household, you set the tone for something. And it's this week is going to be difficult to feel like you have been successful with the changes that are happening. And so you may be feeling just a little bit challenged this week. I have the Queen of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Magician. So if this Queen of Swords is not you, this is someone that you might be dealing with this week that is very, it's almost like drill sergeant energy. Yeah, it has to be done a certain way. There's this level of perfection that's coming in. This person may, in fact, be someone that lends to um, your purposes this week. They may, in fact, be bringing in a level of structure to help with this change. The Queen of Swords, or possibly even giving, some direction on how to navigate this change. And so there may be some help coming in this week from someone, or this could be you stepping into this energy to navigate these changes that you're implementing. And it feels like on a community level to me. And so, whatever changes these are, I feel like it's going to be something that's going to be beneficial in some type of way. And there's a goal in mind here, right? Something's not working. And so, you have come to the conclusion that something needs to change, right? And with that change comes the vision of bringing something else into play as the end goal, right? And so there's some picture that you have in your mind of what will work. And that's what this is all about, right? What's not working. So let's do what needs to be done to make it work. And this is difficult, but you're willing to embrace the difficulties of this. And I do feel like it doesn't feel like a lot of it doesn't feel like a lot of pushback with this. It just feels like the process of making this change, whatever it is going to be one that may need to be like a group effort. And it may be something that you need to actually push because this is the difficult way to get the outcome, right? And so the outcome is the 10 of Cups, the Strength, and the Justice. And so, with whatever this is, it ends up being something that everyone feels beneficial and is everyone is able to benefit from with the 10 of Cups. This is also something that's going to strengthen the resolve this going through this process actually provides some training and pushes people out of their comfort zone in some type of way. And it's the thing that you look back on and you're glad that you were made to do it, even though it wasn't fun doing it. And this has a lot to do with possibly just doing things the right way. That's what I feel. So, what is this that Gemini is implementing that's on Gemini's mind this week? What is Gemini implementing this week? Gemini. The Ten of Swords. So, this is the Four of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. I do feel like it has something to do with work or doing some kind of work and not taking the easy way out, not taking what is initially offered, but wanting something that's a little bit more refined. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. So this is all about you having the say so on how things will get done. And I feel like you this week are going to be requiring a higher level of process when it comes to the outcome that you receive. It's almost like you're wanting more. Like, don't bring me the leftovers. No, I want the best. Okay. All right. So we have the Sisters of Seasons, the Desert Prince, and the Resting Tree. And so the Sisters of Seasons is dealing with cycles of growth and natural law, divine order. This feels like just a process of growth. It almost feels like being in a time where we've, looking at a situation and seeing it this way for a long time and realizing that there has been no growth here. It's like, okay, it's time to expect more, or it's time to push this forward. Having a season where things just feel like they're not measuring up anymore. We should have been past this by now. It feels like a season of growth. It's time to, push the envelope so that we can expect more. Um, And also the resting tree, having patience and going into a time of stillness as well. This could even be you expecting from yourself. I don't know if there's things that you're going through right now, Gemini, where you're actually having an opportunity to reflect back on where you are, whether or not you're comfortable or satisfied with that. This could be all about you as well, expecting more from yourself as well. It feels like a moment of going within and just really taking a look. But also, as you're going in, I hear spirit saying to, it's okay to expect, but do it in a non judgmental way. And, show yourself some grace and be patient. Growth does not just happen overnight, but be patient with yourself. Even as you set these new standards, there's a level of patience that Spirit is bringing up here. Allow it to actually meet the standard, right? Allow it to go from where it is to meet the standard that you're setting. There's the need for patience here. Um, and then the Desert Prince is all about the energy of survival and false promise. There may be something here that's been waiting for a long time. Maybe you've waited for something for a long time, and now you've just gotten in this energy of impatience for a moment. Um, this is the idea around understanding that your needs will always be met. Okay. Even if it's not, up to the standard that you see it in or that you set, your needs are met. There's the energy of recognizing what you have already, what you currently have, and being appreciative for that, and understanding the fact that that has been given, and sometimes it's just being patient as everything is coming in. You know, it feels like something about you anticipating or expecting something that was promised. And spirit might just be saying that I haven't forgot. I know I haven't forgot, but have I not brought you to where you are, Gemini? Have I not fulfilled all my other promises? And so there's something about that here. So you may be coming to an end of a cycle where you are a little restless and you're looking to see some type of growth here in some type of way. You've come to a season of growth. Okay. So I do feel like things are changing, and these things that are changing outwardly have already changed inwardly for you. That's where this desire to see that on the outside is coming from, because it's already happened inwardly. Okay. And so thank you, Gemini, for stopping by. Let me know how it resonates. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're just passing through. Consider hitting the bell too. Okay, Gemini? Blood Moon Oracle. Until next time, take care of yourself. All right. Who's next? Libra. How you doing, Libra? Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Like, share, comment, Libra. Subscribe if you have not. Hit the bell if you find yourself subscribing for the first time. And let's take a look at the energy coming out for you over the next week, Libra. For Libra, over the next week for Libra, let's see. For Libra, over the next week. Over the next week for Libra, I feel like over this next week, Libra, things will feel, the air for you may feel a little stagnant, and like things feel like they've been placed on pause or frozen in time. But there's also, for some of you, the energy of excitement coming in this next week of something new. Maybe you'll be experiencing or starting something new or trying something new. There's something about the energies around you feeling adventurous. And then there might also be something too that pumps you up, and the energy places you in the energy of courage in some type of way. And so you may be feeling a little bit courageous, right, in your environment. There's something in your environment that's pushing you to be courageous. maybe even to strike out and start something new if you've been waiting for something. I'm getting a whole lot of major arcana for you, Libra. We have the Chariot, the King of Pentacles, and the Devil coming out. You're wanting to do something real bad, and you're trying to figure out how to do it, how to position yourself to do it, without losing control, without losing your balance, without overdoing it and losing yourself while doing it. You may even be pushing the limits on some things for yourself here, thinking of how you can do that without, doing too much or going into the energy of obsession or being too controlling. For some of you, you may be thinking of ways to free yourself if you've gotten yourself in some type of energy where you feel like you've lost control. You may be regaining back control over your life by putting things down and stopping doing certain things, finding ways to gain back balance over your life. There's some self-empowerment that you're identifying with this week and feeling good about it. I feel like you're successful with it. Now, I don't know if you're being offered some suggestions over this week. Those may come in challenging. I don't know if it's in line with what you had in mind, but I do see that you could be experiencing some sleepless nights this week, possibly some anxiety around having to start. Maybe you're starting a new job or learning something new. It may be some anxiety around learning, or worrying about receiving something or being offered something. There's some worry coming in that may come in as a challenge this week for you, Libra. I have the Knight of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Two of Pentacles. What you don't see is that there's going to be an opportunity for you to choose how you will handle this. Whatever it is that you've been waiting for some of you, you've been waiting on something to come in. This could be in the form of finances. It could be in the form of assistance in some type of way. It's going to come in this week. And there's going to be an opportunity to organize. There's going to be an opportunity to utilize what you have more structured, so you're going to get more out of what you have, because it feels like you have some things, but because they're scattered with the Five of Wands, it just needs to be more organized and directed, and then it'll be more beneficial to you if you're able to actually bring it into a structured way, right? Instead of just having, almost, if you imagine just having a lot of money, right? And just having dollar bills just laying around, all these different forms of currency, right? It's hard to really utilize it with it just spread out randomly. But when you bring it together and you categorize your bills and you gather your coins, so that you can actually see what you have, then it's more accessible for use. You have a better idea of what you have and how you can use it, how much you have to use, right? It doesn't have to have anything to do with money, but it's just kind of like bringing something into formation so that it could be utilized. It's easily. I do feel like you'll find yourself coming into a lot more energy this week. If you haven't had a lot of energy lately, this week is going to provide a lot of energy for you to utilize. Just understand that with this energy, sometimes there is a tendency to go overboard when you finally get a little energy. Spirit is saying utilize the energy wisely, okay? You still need to plan and don't overdo so you don't burn yourself out, right? Utilize the energy wisely is what I'm hearing. And I have the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Six of Wands. And so I do feel like you'll end out this week feeling successful and victorious like you did, the very best with what you were given. I do feel like there are things that are on your list this week that you are not taking no for an answer. You will have those things done by the end of the week. There is some balance, I believe, that you will come into by the end of the week. I don't know if you'll be partnering with others to get certain things done. That's going to go well. And then there's going to be some possibly moments that you'll be thinking back. That's going to give some good energy for you to reflect on, possibly moments of nostalgia, past memories that will help you through this week as well. This week for you, Libra, is all about empowerment and using what you have wisely, okay? I think this week you'll end up having more than enough, more than you need, but it's all about utilizing it wisely. One of the things to be aware of is to make sure you get the rest that you need. The Nine of Pentacles is a quick way to zap energy, right? And so if nothing else, focus on getting rest, okay? Let's see what else comes out for you. The Swan Queen comes out, the Cosmos, and the Metal King. Yeah, I do feel like this week is going to be a week of discipline, especially as you are trying to empower yourself to overcome things this week. It's important to set good boundaries for yourself and follow through and take measures to protect yourself or set up things that will assist you, especially in moments where you feel you might become a little bit tempted to go back. Set up strategies to help you overcome those moments. This is a time to become very creative and allow ideas to be, brought in. This may even be a time to connect with the cosmos. If you are someone who is really into spirituality and open for downloads, this might be a time to do that. There's something empowering about that during this time because this is a time for you of transformation. There's a lot of things that are changing right now, one of which is you wanting to be empowered to change some things that's no longer working for you. And so this is a beautiful time of transformation for you. This is the start of a new part of your journey. You're just starting. And this is a time for you to trust yourself and to be patient. Have a lot of grace as this change takes place. It doesn't have to happen perfectly, right? It doesn't mean that it won't be small little setbacks as you are making the change. Just be patient and have a lot of grace. Okay, with yourself, Libra. That is for you, my darlings. Good luck. I believe in you. You can do this. You got this. Okay. Stay connected. Okay. And trust yourself above all. Until next time, Libra, you have a good evening. Thank you for stopping by. It has been Blood Moon Oracle with the next week for you. Okay. Until next time, take care, my darlings. Bye. Right. And last on the list is Aquarius. Aquarius, how are we doing today? Let's take a look and see this next week coming up for you. Like, share, comment, Aquarius. If you want to comment through email, you can do so. lettyspeak@gmail.com is my email. Stop by, say hello, and I'll talk back if you do. So let's see, for Aquarius, what are the energies for this next 7 days coming out for Aquarius? I don't know why I'm hearing mass. Some of you all will be attending some type of religious services. For some of you, it's mass. There's something about something resurrecting from the past here in your environment. There's something religious, possibly over this next week. I don't know if you are doing some type of religious ceremony or recognition happening this week within your religious beliefs or practice. This might be a week where you are acknowledging something that's important to you, but there's something being resurrected from the past that is very important in this moment for you. We have the 10 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. There's something that might present some issues in your environment this week. Something to watch out for that might be dangerous spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I don't know if this is someone or something that you have been trying to release that might show back up in your environment here. But be careful this week. There's something about that in your environment that you need to watch out for, okay? We have the 3 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. So this week you're looking for clarity. You're looking for ways that you can move forward, and you're going after something this week. And you're looking for ways how you could best do that, how you could be successful, how you can expand. You might even be planning travel here in the future. You're about to plan the best way that you can put that together. And so this next week, you're going to be focused on making plans of some kind. And these plans are, of course, to do with the future. It could be travel. It could be expanding in some type of way. But you're putting together some plans here this week. Partnerships may present some challenges this week for you, Aquarius. There's something about feeling restricted or feeling limited this week. Also having some difficulties with possibly having to start something or learn something new, learning some new skill or doing some type of study that you'll be doing this week. That's coming through as a challenge. But you do have support coming in around this. I feel like there's going to be provisions made for you to be able to do whatever it is that you need to do this week, whether it's handling your connections or your partnerships or seeing ways out of feeling restricted, finding ways around that. I don't know if it's because of your partnerships that you're feeling restricted and you can't study the way you want, or you can't do this new thing that you're trying to do. There's some restriction around that, where there's going to be provision made for you to do that. I feel like things are going to happen to give you the space that you need. And you'll be able to make the necessary decisions, right? That's going to allow you to make these choices. And it may come through as support, right, from your community. So I have the Wheel of Fortune, the Lovers, the Two of Wands, and the Four of Wands coming out here for you. And I feel like this is energy that you don't really realize you have working in your behalf. The Wheel of Fortune is just being in this very fortunate energy, luck, and having favor. I don't know how that will come through for you, but it says that things will settle in the way that's going to be beneficial for you to do what you need to do. You'll be able to make the decisions that you need, especially if it does pertain to partnerships or love, right? The energy of support is coming in through that. Again, decisions are going to be made to where you can hold this. It feels like a lot of weight that you'll be feeling this week, but things will be orchestrated and you'll be supported. Support will come in a way that will give you the support that you need to meet your obligations, okay? I even see some type of celebration for some of you, or some appreciation ceremony, or something showing that you are appreciated this week, okay? And we end off with the King of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Tower. There's going to be something that changes by the end of this week. And it may come through word of mouth. There's some message that you might receive that changes everything. There's something about this that may, in fact, empower you too. I don't know what that is. There's some surprising message that you receive that puts you on the grind. This may come in through someone who is on your team, someone who is a leader for you, someone who maybe has the ability to assist you in some type of way. This could be someone who is where you're trying to get to, that comes in and offers some advice or some information that's needed. Let's see. Anything else for Aquarius? Yeah. So this week is all about strategizing. The Chess Queen came out, which gives me Queen of Swords energy. Just being really equipped with business, knowing the who, what, when, where, why, what you need to do, how you need to do it, or what you want done, when it needs to be done, like really taking the bull by the horns and trusting that you have everything you need to make this happen and to get this done, and strategizing to do that. There might be some part of this where you will benefit from connecting. If you are spiritual, I'm leaning on that, for some of the direction here. There's some creativity that might be available to you that might release some of that limitations that you're feeling here this week, connecting with your source. The Phoenix comes out as well. Yeah, whatever this is that comes in at the end of the week may not be all bad. It may seem like it's bad because it feels a little bit like you're out of control over it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, right? This might be an opportunity for you to embrace something much better than anything you ever thought, was possible. But there's a part of this that may not feel that way. And that's the part where you'll need to surrender to it and trust, right? The Phoenix is all about dying, but then rising back up stronger, more resilient, more wise, right? More powerful. And so there's something about this, about a change coming in here. And you may receive this information at the end of the week. But know that it is for, it's going to actually turn out better than you had even imagined or hoped. Okay. Yeah, that's what I have for you. Strategy. It's all about strategy this week for you. Okay. And surrendering to the process too. By the end of this week, things will look very different and they will have changed. Okay. All right. That's for you, Aquarius. Thank you for stopping by. Blood Moon Oracle here with the energy coming up this week. It's all about you finding solutions for whatever issues are before you right now, which you do. And it almost feels like the resolution is going to be something totally different, maybe that you hadn't even thought of, right? And so spirit knows best, and so that's for you. Until next time, like, share, comment. If you want to send me an email, here's my email, Letty Speak. Let me know how you're doing. Stop by, say hello. I'll talk back. Until next time, Aquarius, take care of yourself. Bye.